Hello and welcome to Games from Folktales, a podcast that mixes historical research and tabletop role-playing settings. I'm your host, Timothy Ferguson. This week, a plot hook from the Isle of Man. I've been talking with Ben from Sub Rosa about whether it would be useful to create some background information for an adventure and record it as an audio episode so that players on their way to a convention could absorb the background information while they're driving. That reminded me of this little story, which I think players should hear from a redcap or from an old fisherman to start them on the quest for Manannan's Island. It's clearly a fairy regio, and if I make the calculations correctly, May Day falls on a Sunday in 1222, 1229, and add 7 to extrapolate the pattern. The recording that follows was released into the public domain through LibriVox by John. Thanks to John and all of his support team over at LibriVox.
Out under the Irish Sea, 15 or 16 miles southwest of the Calf, there is an enchanted isle. Long, long ago it was on the surface of the water. That was in the days when Manannan ruled in Man. But when St. Patrick drove Manannan and his men from the island in the form of three-legged creatures, they came upon this isle. Manannan dropped it to the bottom of the sea, and they were seen no more. Now it is the home of Manannan MacLear, son of the sea, and he rules it as he used to rule Man. But once in 7 years, when old May Day is on a Sunday, the isle may be seen. It rises up from the sea just before sunrise, like a beautiful vision, and Manannan looks once more at Ellen Vannin. The hills of the Enchanted Isle are green. White foam rings it round, and if you are near enough, you may see the tossing arms and golden hair of the mermaids by the water's edge, washing their glittering jewels, and hear the singing of birds, and smell the fragrant scent of flowers. But as the first rays of the sun rest upon its highest hills, it sinks into the deep, deep sea. Recording by John Brandon.
Statistics for a version of Manannan MacLear and his soldiers will be posted on the blog that accompanies this podcast eventually. I'm going to stat him up as a fairy god rather than as a Meranita who has finished the process of becoming. But if you're wanting to explore becoming, there are worse places that your player characters could go. But your saga may vary.